playground.
Hooray!
Hey! It's my song! Let's sing it! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Come on! It's gonna be fucking awesome! You know the words! It's gonna be fucking awesome! That's it! Sing! It's gonna be fucking awesome! Yeah!
Fuck you, Mark Waid. Fuck you. Fuck you so bad, I cannot even begin to describe the feelings that are coming up within me, because you, my former friend, are supposed to be one of the pillars of the superhero comic book industry. You, a professed lover of Superman, Clark Kent, Kal-El, the Man of Steel, the man who always finds a better way to get the fucking job done. That's who you worship. That's who you have altars built in your mind to, Superman. So I just assumed that a man who worships at the altar of Superman would have some fucking principles and some goddamn scruples. For those of you who don't know who Mark Waid is, Mark Waid is one of the pillars of the comic book community. Unfortunately, on the far left side, and as far as I'm concerned, he is no longer a pillar of anything but shit. This man does not deserve to be in this industry. I know that this industry is filled with good, righteous, cool people. Not self-righteous people, but righteous people. People who know how to be fucking cool. And I'm sorry, my friends, but Mark Waid does not know how to be cool. And we will be rebuilding this comic book industry without people like him. And I know you're going to say, Jesse, but you're the centrist. You're the one who's like, come on, we got to forgive everybody and we got to find the middle way. Well, Mark Waid has demonstrated that his heart is not in the right fucking place. And because honestly, I didn't see myself getting to this place. I've been having these visions in my mind of bringing Ethan Van Sciver, who's essentially the head of the alt-right in comics, and they are not the fucking alt-right. And if you were one of those people perpetuating that fucking idea that half of the people in comics are the alt-right, you're out of your fucking mind. Shut up. Stop it. Stop being like Mark Waid. Stop being a fucking asshole. I'm here as a professional, I'm here as a fan, and I'm telling you, none of that shit is going on. There are two sides, but they are both been being dicks to one another on the internet. And neither is the fucking alt-right or the alt-left. They're just freaking dug in like ticks, and they're being assholes to each other, just constantly. They're just so used to being assholes to each other that there's nothing else that they can do. Okay? So Mark Waid, who's been the head of the pin for the freaking Democrats, and Ethan Van Sciver, who I guess is the head of the pin for the fucking Republicans, whatever. I've literally had visions about bringing them together, having them talk, getting them onto a simple, even keel, same page. Come on, everybody. Let's all be fucking friends again. That's what I want. That's what I want. Let's all be friends again. I'm so ready. I'm so happy to fucking lead the way, to reunite this fucking industry, to bring us back together, to get the kind of shit going on in this world that we want to see. We are the people who worship heroes. We should be a fucking demonstration of what heroics looks like. Heroics looks like putting aside your petty fucking differences and cooperating for the greater good. That's heroics. The Justice League and the Avengers are filled with guys who wouldn't normally interact with one another because they don't exactly like each other, even though they've come to fucking respect each other in various ways. But they're very different. They do things differently. But heroics means you put your stupid shit aside. You put aside pettiness, and you come together for the greater good. And based on recent offerings from Mr. Waid, it is clear that he is not with that idea. As far as I'm concerned, I want to take his fucking I'm a fan of Superman card right out of his fucking wallet. Give me that. Yank. That's mine. Superman. Kiss my fucking ass. I'm a fan of Superman, Mark Waid. I don't know who the fuck this is, you slivering little snake. This bullshit that you said. He's been posting up a storm because so here's the story. I am so right for feeling how I feel. When I get to the fucking, I don't want to bury the lead here. There has been some wonderful things happening in the past 2 weeks. In the past 2 weeks, there was a retailer who had a YouTube channel, and he spoke very simply in a language that everybody could understand about what it was that was killing mainstream comics, specifically the big two, Marvel and DC, and some of these licensed things and other things. And he basically boiled it down to a lot of individuals who think that writing is inserting themselves into books and rearranging things to make it more like them. And the comic industry has a long history of building on the historically great stories of yesterday, continuing to have this wonderful connected universe that grows and enlarges with each great creator that comes in. But now what's happening with these new creators is they literally throw continuity out the window because they don't know it. They have no familiarity with the continuity whatsoever because they're not comic people. They're people who were hired based on identity politics. There are some people who are, comic. Look, you go poll your average female comic book reader, and this is just the reality. The averages is they prefer anime and they prefer independent comics. They prefer Archie. Mainstream superhero comic books is a traditionally male-led audience. When it's done at its best, at its heights, it works for everyone. Everyone loves the greatest hyper masculine depiction of some superheroes, whatever. The greatest version of that thing is great. The greatest version of the hyper feminine ideal, some wonderful love story like Love Actually, what's the one? Oh, The Notebook is the one that I really like. Love Actually is good too. A really wonderful, well done romance that hits with everybody. But there is a baseline audience. There is an energy that is where the rocket bursts from. And for superhero comics, it's action, it's adventure, it's doing, it's strength, it's movement. And boys have a little bit of a edge in this area, right? And what are the women in empathy and in caring and in thought, right? Women have a little bit of an edge there. So there tends to be a little bit of a differences in what jobs we pick and all these different things. So much of, and really, I don't want to get into any sort of argument with anybody, but when you go in to investigate this, like the alleged wage gap, you actually find out it's a lot more to do with choices that people make. And in general, women tend to make these certain choices and men tend to make these certain choices. And to call for an equality of those choices would be kind of insane because the women don't want it, and neither do the men. Like, they're not asking, please get more of us into the nurses' uniforms, or the women, vice versa, going, please get more of us into electrician uniforms. And meanwhile, I'm dating a girl who's an electrician. She's an electrician. She's the only one. It's a fucking hard job. It's a really hard job for her. She's constantly getting hurt and whatever. And she's overachieving to live the dream, to demonstrate that you can do it. And you can. And I'm so fucking proud of her. And it's so cool. It is cool. But she's an exception. She's not the average. So you don't cater a system to Julie, the exception to the electrician rule. You cater a system to the averages so that the most amount of good can be done. This whole world of superhero comics is this masculine thing. And it shouldn't be catered to the Julies of the world who have come in. It should be catered to what it is, which is a masculine depiction of good in action and heroics. It's pictures, and it comes from a very masculine place, and you got to honor that. And you can't just go in and start gerrymandering the whole system up in whatever way that you feel. Like because they're casting writers and artists now, they're seeking them out. It used to be the writers and the artists were seeking out comics. People who love comics were like, I'm going to go work in that industry. And now they're like, well, we don't have enough of the people we want to cast. So we got to go out into film and into TV and into playwriting and into these places that don't appreciate comics. And we need to bring in those people and their lack of appreciation for comics into the comic world. So this is some version, I mean, his was much simpler than mine, but some version of what he was saying, that there's like these people who are coming in and they're just kind of strapping their identity into whatever books they're writing. And it's not about the stories anymore. It's not about the action. It's about like all this like little personal bullshit, and nobody cares. And people are tuning out. And people are really like feeling like they have all this access to these creators, and these creators are vapid. They have nothing to fucking say except for toting the company line in friggin' democratic politics. What else do they have to say? No new ideas? Just listen to them? Vote Democrat? Like, seriously, these are the fucking creative people? If these are the creative people that have nothing to say but vote Democrat or vote Republican for that fucking matter, plenty of the people on the right side of things are the exact same freaking myopic way. Jesus this, Jesus that, you're sinning. Like, it's just like, fuck all of these judgmental, dogmatic people, man. I can't take it anymore. They are holding the ball right now, and they're running back and forth down the fucking football field. And there's only one direction that brings us to the goal. And they seem to be going from sideline to sideline. And we're just sitting around, all us central people, watching them do it. Going, what the fuck is this? Nobody's ever going to score like this. It's time for us to take the ball and bring it down the fucking field into the end zone and reinvent this entire entertainment machine. All you independent filmmakers out there, you start fucking reading books and studying film and figuring this out. I'm a comic book writer. I love comic books. I love music. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm studying marketing. Studying marketing. I can't fucking stand it. I hate marketing. But I'm studying it. Studying it every freaking day, putting on new this. And I'm finding people that I like. I'm finding new heroes for me. I wish I knew the name of this one guy who I've been watching. He's been very inspiring. And I still don't necessarily feel like I fucking learned anything. It takes a lot of learning to do this right. But if we're going to replace the industry, if we're going to replace the people who have been paid to get experience doing this poorly, we're going to have to put in the time to learn how to do it superior to them beyond a shadow of a doubt. I have put in that time, but I have not put in the time to build in the business and making my model and figuring all these things. So now I got to learn to do those things. And if we're going to stop these people, if we're going to stop people who think like, I'm going to show you he's fucking thinking in a second, we need to do better. Anyway, this retailer comes out, he talks about this stuff, and then the left side of Twitter, who has just, I'm so fucking ashamed of the left of Twitter. So many of these people, I mean, not a lot of the leaders, but a lot of the people within the mix there, they're very good friends of mine. They've been great friends of mine for a long time. I know them, and I know they're good people. And I'm so disappointed by how they're fucking conducting themselves. It just drives me insane. Because I don't believe in going around telling people how to behave. And these are people who became friends of mine because I didn't believe I had to remotely tell them how to behave yesterday. They were wonderful people. I was happy to call them my friends. And now I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of you, Mark Waid. I'm ashamed of you. I'm fucking ashamed. It hurts my heart. I want to cry about it. You're one of my fucking heroes, man. Working for him, I worked under him at Boom Studios. It was an honor. I was so proud to tell people that. I'm so fucking ashamed of you. What you've become. Somebody wrote to you and said, to Mark Waid, Stephen McKee, he said, I think a lot of us would just rather see the industry burned down than, oh no, sorry, I'm going one ahead. Well, I guess that's it. I thought I had what he said to him, but I don't. Mark says, I think a lot of us would just rather see the industry burn down than, quote, get together with the alt-right, his quote. I know I would. Sorry. And I call bullshit on anyone who tries to highlight the issues gets piled on. I think it's far more accurate to say anyone who wants to blame everything on SJWs gets piled on, or anyone who wants to complain that their favorite characters are being written as political mouthpieces but can't provide any examples of this is being piled on. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't provide any examples of this? How about Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the end of that stupid show? Do better, Senator. And that's just a microcosm of the real, actual politics that are actually on display in so many of these comics. You want receipts? Mark, you haven't been looking very fucking hard, brother. You haven't been looking hard at all. You guys can't see the forest for the trees. Art is supposed to be organic. This isn't organic. It is partisan. And because you're a part of the partisanship that you fucking like that's in control, you're all right with it. That's not how it works. One half of the population doesn't get to rape the other half of the population. And I know that it's been like that in the past, but that doesn't mean that we perpetuate stupidity. Mark Waid would rather see the industry burn down than come together. There is no alt-right in comics. Mark Waid knows damn fucking well that Ethan Van Sciver is not alt-right. At worst, he's an asshole. At best, he's one of the greatest artists who has ever lived on planet Earth. It's just fucking insane. But this, you know, when people see people's politics on display in social media, it leads them to a notion that fundamentally everything that they're writing is coming from this place always. So I can't trust anything that they have to say. And I try to ignore all personal politics on social media so that it doesn't affect my enjoyment of people's art. But this right here would just rather see the industry burn down than get together. I know I would. Sorry. Fuck your sorry, Mark. Shove it up your fucking ass. I know I'm not the only person who feels like this. I know that I am fucking cussing my head off for a legion of you out there. Guys, if you got money in the bank, go buy some independent comics. Go support a local comic shop, but don't buy Mark Waid, don't buy Marvel, don't buy DC, buy independent books. Help these Kickstarters, help these Indiegogos. Go to fucking Fund My Comics. I got a book on there right now. Please, help me. Help me terraform this fucking system into what it was meant to be. Something truly heroic. Something that is really looking out for this fucking planet, looking out for each other, and is actually providing a benefit to humanity. Right now, all the things that I love are fucking sucking the life's blood of this planet. The things that I love have been weaponized to divide people. These films, these television shows, these comics, they should be showing the world as it is, filled with all sorts of people. And maybe 30% of them are fucking Democrats. And maybe 30% of them are fucking Republicans. And the rest of us are in the middle. And even all those Democrats are uniquely different from each other. And even all those Republicans are uniquely different from each other. And stop fucking labeling everybody and making it so damn easy to just kill them. When you label people, you make it easy for them to be identified and murdered. She's a witch. Burn her. He's a Republican. Burn him has become a fucking thing. And if you haven't noticed it, you are not a responsible person. If you haven't noticed the insanity of dehumanizing humanity that is going on planet Earth right now, you're fucking insane. Look again. Look again. But I want to cry because fucking Mark Waid. Mark Waid, man. You know, I had a plan years ago. I had a plan. They wouldn't let Mark write Superman. And Mark's a big Superman fan. And I admire Mark. And I said, well, if they won't let Mark write Superman, I will create something that is a Superman-like something for him. And I will bring him to my company. And I will have him write all of the wonderful Superman stories that I know are sitting in his heart because he's a big Superman fan. Mark Waid, you are no Superman. You are no Superman. And you will not come near anything that I ever work on that is meant to be like Superman. And I cannot hire anybody for anything who thinks like you do. I would just rather see the industry burn down. Fuck you, Mark Waid. So disappointing. So disappointing. It is so rare that somebody that I admire so much, and granted, he has done so many fucking things that have made me want to detest him because he doesn't realize how fucking ignorant and stupid he really is, how stupid he's coming across to those of us who are actually awakened. And you want to know what it means to be awakened? It means to be fucking able to look at the left and look at the right and go, they're both human beings and they're fucking having a hard time communicating with each other. They're not evil. If they both saw it, if they both knew who they were talking to, they would be talking with respect. They'd bring all this shit to center. They'd start figuring some things out. But there's no interest in that. If it bleeds, it leads. If it's upsetting, like look at fucking YouTube and the YouTube algorithms. I mean, just everything is like the downfall of this, I've thought about making downfall videos for myself because I know how many people I could trick into finding out about me by making a downfall video about myself. It's just fucking insane. And I mean, honestly, I should probably do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a fucking downfall video about myself, put it up on my YouTube. I guarantee you. Because nobody knows. Blacklight District Studios, who made this? Somebody who thinks, they're going to talk shit about Jesse. Go talk a whole bunch of shit about myself and then, rise myself up at the end and I can use it as a great promotional tool for all my comics and shit. I bet it'll be fucking hugely successful. Because if it bleeds, it leads. If it's the down note, ooh. Because everybody's having a hard time. And it makes them feel better when they see that other people are struggling as well. Because everybody else is fronting all the time. We're fronting like we got it all fucking figured out. And most people are fronting using a preloaded gun. The Democrats give you this cannon. The Republicans give you this other cannon. Here we go. I'm using other people's thoughts. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Eventually, the right ideas do start to come out. And recently online, Mark MILLAR, praise you, Mark. Mark was like a new guy when I was starting to try to break into comics. So I always kind of viewed him a little bit like, he wasn't too far off from being one of my peers, similar to Robert Kirkman. I know Robert from back in the day. Me and Robert are big Eric Larson fans. So we were like, Eric Larson would go out to lunch and he would let people, really just fans of his, come out to lunch with him. So I've known Robert Kirkman since back then, and Mark MILLAR, like around like similar time, he had just started kind of popping up. And I have nothing but respect for Mark. I really like Mark's work. Mostly, I've read a couple things from him that I didn't love, but he's somebody that I genuinely appreciate as a creative person. I think he has a lot to offer. And this has deified him in my fucking mind. All hail Mark MILLAR. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. This all came about because Mark Waid wanted to go out of his way to say, as Mark MILLAR is trying to bring the industry together, I think fuck that. So fuck you, Mark Waid. Literally, somebody's trying to fucking do good work. This is the work that you should have fucking done. If you're that fucking good, if you're that fucking righteous, if you're this great, sweet, liberal, bleeding heart motherfucker, you should have led the fucking way. I'm so pissed off You self-righteous piece of shit. There is nothing good about you. There is nothing good about what you just did, about the behavior you just put on display for other people to see. It is just irresponsible, and I cannot abide it any longer. You're fucking out, buddy. Kiss our collective ass. On behalf of everybody who gives a shit about this comic book industry, on behalf of everybody who would love to be able to possibly 20 years from now still hear that some great fucking Batman story came out, written by some great writer who was coming up at the time, who decided he had something new to say about the character, and he did just that. Fuck, I want to live in that world. I want to live in that world where this shit still exists. And this motherfucker, he is sitting there saying, nah. If they win, I'd rather see it all burn down because they can't be 50-50 with me. I'm right. It's my way or the highway. Fuck you, Mark Waid. Fuck you, Mark Waid. All hail Mark MILLAR. All hail Mark MILLAR. And I mean, this doesn't mean fucking, but this is good behavior. Mark's talking to the retailers. He's trying to help people get the word out. He's trying to change the perception of things. Mark MILLAR doesn't make his fucking money from mainstream comics anymore. He's got to deal with Netflix. He's fucking producing things. He's overseeing things the way I do when I'm talking to you here, telling you this is how you got to do it, and don't do it like this. And you got to think about it like this, and realize that, and a couple things that you should think about by this. He is in that position over at Netflix. He's helping them. They're making some great stuff. He's working on a bunch of things. He's clearly knows what he's doing. Has a good fucking attitude about it all. And I mean, dude, the proof's in the fucking pudding. You know, I could tell you everybody who can do this fucking job. I mean, granted, I can't exactly because people like Jeff Johns, clearly they get into the Hollywood system and then they become kind of pussies or something. Like, because Jeff Johns is brilliant. But every single time he gets into the Hollywood thing, and I understand, Jeff, you know, if you listen to this, I don't mean to call you a pussy, brother, but it's like, clearly, unfortunately, what you know is not happening. You're not getting what you know across the fucking plate. You're taking too many notes. I think you just have too much respect for this system. You know, Richard Donner, you came up in the movie system. This is the problem, though, with these fucking people who are like film worshipers. They like put all those people first. They lift them all up. Oh, they're actors. Look, they're famous. Fuck famous people. It's about craftsmanship. If you can't craft a fucking song, if you can't craft a comic book, if you can't craft a word, if you can't put together some shit that is worth my fucking time, get the fuck out of here. You know, I saw like a little friggin' clip of, what's his name? The guy from, that suits, the ad agency one. He's like John Hamm, super handsome dude, right? And he's on this dating show. And he's on the dating show, and he only says like one thing. He's telling her about like the type of date he's gonna give her. He's like, well, first we'll have some fabulous dinner, and then we'll have some fabulous something else, and then I'll give you a fabulous foot rub. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. That is John Hamm without a script. These fucking writers, they are the life's blood of the friggin' industry in films and TV. They treat the writers like such shit in Hollywood. You have no fucking clue. The one reason why I chose comic books was because it did seem to be a place where writers, really good writers and really great art, people were appreciated. There was an appreciation for craftsmanship. And I wanted to be a great craftsman. And I wanted to go where other people appreciated craftsmen like me. I wanted to be hopefully appreciated if I earned it. And I wanted to be in the place where I could be appreciating other people and be inspired by other people, and a place where that kind of vibe was going on, because that's not happening in TV. That's not happening in film. It's not really happening in like books. I mean, here, there, in like small ways. A lot of times the book people, they end up being intellectual people who are all up each other's fucking asses. Oh, I'm a book. I wrote a book about the thing. You have to understand, people's personalities play so fucking hardcore into the way these industries has been formed. The book industry, the television and film industry, the comic industry. The comic industry is the one that everybody wants to hate on. So the people that are here are either really could use a hero and could use some support because they feel like, well, I am a nerd and I am all these things. Or they fucking chose it like me because they really liked it and appreciated it for what it was in comparison to the things that the other things were. The other things suck. Comics, toys, collectibles. Oh, guys, we can't let this go away. This is the Renaissance in modern day. Because of something like Batman and Superman and periodicals, Marvel and DC, artists are giving an opportunity to improve their craftsmanship at such an exponential rate. It's insane. Month in, month out, they show up and draw stuff. You see the progression of some of these artists over the years. Some of these comic book artists, you'll see them early in the day, you see them in the middle of their career, then you see them towards the fucking top of their career. Like, people have the ability to transform artistically into like pinnacles of the art form, and there are so many. There are so many Art Adams and Dave Johnsons and Alex Rosses. I mean, there really are so many Damian Platts, and I mean, just like fucking, it's insane. It's insane. And then when you get into sculptors, you know, you don't know enough of the people. You know, I managed to because I love sculptors so much. Like, I've managed to follow a person or two here, like a Randy Bowen, you know, who used to do statues a little bit for Marvel back in the day, or the Four Horsemen at Four Horsemen Studios, who were a little bit easier to find when you're somebody who appreciates these things. This is sculpting, man. This is what Da Vinci was doing, but Da Vinci was just making people. Da Vinci walked into the town square and went, okay, that guy, I'm going to make a thing of him, right? These people today, these sculptors, they're creating monsters and demons and super things and things that we've never seen before. It's even more incredible, but because it's like fantasy stuff, people are freaking writing it off. And meanwhile, though, when the shit gets done right and packaged right and put out to the mainstream, they eat it up. They love what we love. The only difference between us and readers is we take the time to fucking read. They don't. Sorry, the only difference between us as readers and them as viewers is that we took the time to read. It's the same audience. It's just the difference is just laziness or like perception of books or difficulty with eyesight. You know, I used to have trouble over focusing. I understand if you're out there and you're like, it's really hard for me to read, Jess. I get it. But it's unfortunate. The book's always better. The comic's always better. The novel's always better. The anime's always better. It's always better from the original thing. We are a place, the geek culture community, because really in collection, when it comes to statues on top of it, you know, these various artistic depictions of a thing, the silhouetted object, the ways in which artists can express themselves with these characters and these ideas. It's so cool. There's a whole line, and granted, I don't love all of them, but there's a whole line of these statues from Batman Black and White. It's all these different artistic interpretations of Batman, and they turn them into statues. And it's just interesting, you know, just to see the different way people do faces and the different way people do proportions. And it just, each one of them creates its own world. And if you're somebody like me who can like recognize a pattern and then like apply it, oh man, it's so wonderful when you see something that's really balanced and well put together and consistent, because the consistency that you can see in the image, you can project that in your mind beyond where it is, and you can see other things. And it really like sort of like opens this door in your mind to being able to see greater things, greater shapes, greater math and connections that are there because very elegantly it's been put down by an artist who had a sort of sacred geometric view of the world and gave us, you know, with this elongation of that and that truncation of that, and you know, because everything, if you know anything about sacred geometry, if you don't know anything about sacred geometry, look up sacred geometry when you the homework assignment, go study sacred geometry. It's the greatest fucking thing. And just learn about how like a snail's shell is formed and sort of the dimensions between, you know, your fingers to your arms, you know, like just the length of bones and things like that, because all this stuff is consistent throughout nature. And that's one of the cool things that these artists do and these sculptors do, the really good ones. They're always creating some sort of hyper-realized form of oops, sorry, hopefully that didn't fuck up my audio and just knocked over my thing at the time. I'm standing because I'm Mark Waid. But when artists get into the right spot, the people that we appreciate, we're appreciating them because they are taking the usual sacred geometric grid and they are moving some of the sort of like staple points, and they're taking the staple out of the tricep in this spot and they're pulling it a little bit higher up to the shoulder so that the math is a little different. But then they're also probably adjusting some of the other math in the forearm or whatever it might be, because they know on a subconscious level that the sacred geometry needs to adjust in one way or another in order for it to all match to our eye. So we end up getting all these different sort of variations of how the math can be, which is very, very, very cool. I mean, really, just like, there's so many artists who I love. I'll read anything that they do or see, and there's people who do amazing job at sort of I don't know how to describe it right, but distorting reality in such a way that is like kind of mesmerizing, and it just in its consistency to perpetually distort reality the exact same way every time is kind of insane to me. And there are a lot of guys out there doing exactly that. And I heard somebody saying, or a quote, I think it was, I was watching a clip of Van Sciver, and he was talking about an artist who told him that he felt like his art, Brian Bolin, one of my favorite artists of all time. Brian said when he was doing his work, it felt like he was like walking like a tightrope, and like, any wrong move and he'd fall off the tightrope. And that's, wow, like that's so kind of wonderful and nerve-wracking to imagine that, like, because Brian Bolin was like brave enough to continue down that tightrope every time as he's drawing this thing, the tightrope didn't get away from him, and instead we have this thing where it's the tightrope. There's that what the tightrope means is like there's literally only one path. There's one path to the right image. Isn't that like frightening? That's so cool to me. But like Brian Bolin's actually seeing the art in his mind like that. Just fucking cool. Yeah, but to see that as I was watching various things about this fucking Mark Waid thing. And I mean, hey, kudos to Ethan Van Sciver. He did not say, I agree. Not once. He didn't go, blah. He went, well, here's Mark Waid chiming in, saying that he would rather everything burn down. That seems about right. Holy shit, man. Who are the bad guys? They've been shouting that this alt-right, that Ethan Comics, that they're the bad guy. They're clearly not the fucking bad guys. This is the behavior of fucking bad guys. Damn it, Mark. Yeah. I spent so much fucking time. I deal with the Comicsgate people. I deal with the other side people. And I spend so much fucking time trying to sort of like make each other, realize humanity and like that this is cool. Like it's like they're cool and you're cool and we're just communicating about things shitty and we can fucking get through this stuff and like come back together. And then you go and say something like this. I just like I don't know. But fuck you so bad. Fuck you so bad. Fuck you so bad, Mark Waid. All hail, Mark MILLAR. All hail, Mark MILLAR. Support Mark. Pay attention to what he's doing. He's trying to talk to like different retailers. He's trying to get the word out, the consensus from retailers. I'm thinking about making a tour around Long Island and going to all the different retailers and doing some interviews with them to get some perspective. I thought, like Long Island's kind of a microcosm because it's an island. And I know we probably got at least like 20 comic book stores here or whatever. I bet it would be pretty cool to go and get some sort of consensus on what at least Long Island comic buying habits are like and whatnot. Because, essentially the left side of the community, they have basically been in zero acknowledgement of what's been happening, that sales are tanking, that mainstream comics are dying. They're the ones being hired, and they shouldn't be, most of these people being hired. So it, of course, behooves them to go, I don't know what's happening. It's always the creators. It's always the creative direction. That's it. There's only one answer. Your writing sucks. Even with like shitty art, like unless the art's really shitty, if the writing is good, the books will go on forever. And that's not to downplay the artist, because this is such an artistic medium, and any comic book like worth its fucking salt is beautifully drawn. But writing can fucking solve everything. Everything. It all comes down to the creative direction of the Marvel and the DC comic book universes, cinematic universe, and everything else that is being sucked into this same shit pool. This is all because of corporate politics that have entered into the equation here. All of these comic book companies are owned by corporations. DC is owned by Warner Brothers and the larger company there. A company that is rumored to possibly be on the brink of bankruptcy. That they could potentially go bankrupt before, say, Disney did. Disney, mind you, as well. Big corporation. Now they own Marvel. So corporate think has infiltrated all of these properties. And they're done. They're fucking done. Corporations destroy art. Okay? Corporations destroy art. And they have been enforcing ideology into the work. And as much as somebody like Mark Waid doesn't want to admit that that's true in any way, shape, or form, it is so fucking true. It is so true across the board. There are so many examples that can be named. Like, fucking Mark, fight me. Anywhere, anytime, I will sit there and I will talk to you and I will point out every fucking instance. And I don't care. I don't care, Mark. I'm a kind of hyper-liberal kind of person who, like, none of that shit really bothers me. I see the world as a freaking bizarre alien place. So whatever. Who gives a shit if it's done well? But patterns, easily recognizable patterns, ruin art. You should know this, you fucking fat piece of shit. Like, seriously, I'm sorry for calling him a fat piece of shit, but he's fucking sitting on his fucking ass, writing his whole fucking life, and he hasn't learned these things. I'm so upset. Okay, I'm really mad I called him a fat piece of shit. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. Because that's what I was so mad about, like, people, what they said about the damn comic book creator thing. But I got super mad. And I mean, and I'm just like, Just like, it's just like, it's a thing. If, like, you worship Superman, like, go fucking try to be like him a little bit more. Across the board. Like, fucking get in shape and start learning how to fucking work with people. Like, I'm sorry to fucking call you out like that, Mark Waid, but, like, I just can't stand hypocritical, self-righteous people. I work so hard in my life to come from the right place and do things as close to the right way or a right way as I can, you know, and I really believe that is about being righteous to people as best you can all the time. And I can't abide this thing where you tell me you're this and then I start screaming in your face. All right? Like, there's a guy, I always forget his fucking name, but I love this guy so much. He has a collection of Ku Klux Klan hoods that have been given to him from his friends who are former members of the Ku Klux Klan. He's a black guy, and he befriends these Ku Klux guys so that they can see that they're wrong. You see that? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer so they can see that they're wrong. And other things. There's plenty of reasons. Pushing each other away. Well, now I can't see what they're doing. What are they doing over there? They building bombs or something? I don't know. They seem to just keep getting madder and madder at me. They seem to think we're against them. What's this fucking whisper network thing? What's this game of telephone? When we come together, everything is brought into the light. When we go our separate ways, everything stays in the fucking shadows. And it's just like trench warfare or some bullshit. And the trench warfare that's been going on is this, like, dug in like ticks fucking super liberal group. And then every normal person in comic books who isn't liberal or conservative, we're just people who love comic books. And we're like, whoa, this sucks. What the fuck is going on here? Everything is just so weird. They're doing everything counterintuitively to how they should be because the ideas about how they should do everything is being driven by the top, and it's correcting and adjusting everything to such a crazy degree that everything is losing its cohesion. Everything is coming apart or becoming so rigidly inorganic that people hate it. People hate it. We hate all this stuff. Like, can you guys not recognize the box office bombs, the numbers for comic books, the prices you're getting paid to write pages? Mark Waid, I know your page rate has dropped here or there. Or maybe you're sitting there going, oh no, I just have worked less because I haven't refused to drop my page rate. You know other people's page rates are being dropped. Page rates are not, they're at an all-time low right now, page rates in comics. So what does that tell you? There are enough signs that your cognitive dissonance should have been shattered into a billion pieces a very long time ago. I honestly don't understand how you guys can keep doing this. Like, here's the thing. You guys think that it's like everybody's with you and everybody's against the right wing of comics, and the right wing of comics is over there, and then the middle and everybody who's quiet is with you. No, we're just fucking polite. We're polite and quiet. And for me, you just fucking crossed such a line, Mark Waid. Fuck you, Mark Waid. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. Devastated. I am devastated, Mark. Devastated. You've broken my fucking heart. Say it ain't so, Superman. But instead of being devastated, I am taking your fucking Superman card away. That belongs to me, thank you. Sorry. It appears you need to be replaced. And you're going to be. You're going to be replaced, Mark. This whole industry, it's going to be replaced. And Batman and Superman and X-Men and Spider-Man, they're not going to go away. Maybe they'll go away for a second. But we're done. We're not buying your mainstream comics. By the way, Mark Waid, I'm making this I don't know shit about comics book, and there was going to be a lot of Mark Waid comic books in that book. Fuck you. Nothing written by you will be in the I don't know shit about comics fucking thing, because I don't want somebody who would rather see the industry burn down if they don't get their fucking baby way. Sorry. Not sorry. Well, I guess that's all I have today for you guys. I'm like fucking Mark Waid. Fuck Mark Waid. Okay, wait. I do have one more thing, because I got this. This is in the title. Okay. Plus a call to bring back the Move the Needle and Try Again. All right. So Myers, the dude who goes your boy Zach on fucking YouTube. I know he can be very divisive. He's a little annoying to me sometimes in some of the takes that he decides to take, because I feel like he kind of pokes at the audience that he has, like he's like shaming them, but like not like in a good way, like in a like, hey, let's try this or something. Like he can just be like a little bit prickly, and obviously he's dealing with some fucking health problems, so whatever. But he's somebody who loves comic books, and he's got plenty of takes that are freaking reasonable. And he had put forth an idea for a hashtag called Move the Needle. Hashtag Move the Needle. And it was supposed to be for comic books, for people who were enjoying various books that they were reading, to go and post themselves with the comic or a picture of the comic and say, hashtag Move the Needle. I'm reading this. This is great. More books like this, please. 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 And it's a place where, if done right, and if enough people participated in this hashtag Move the Needle thing, that eventually it would be very easy for Marvel or DC to go over to hashtag Move the Needle and see what books are moving the needle. What books are people really excited about when they get home and they read them? Because, like, you can sell these books or whatever. You don't know what the audience actually thought. There are certain things that you can use as metrics, but there's any number of reasons why somebody might not come back for the second issue, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that your book wasn't good. And in a corporate mindset, that's the last thing they're going to think. The book wasn't good? No, that's nothing that we can control anyway or help anyway, so let's not even bother to think about the fact that the book wasn't good. The thing wasn't good. Hashtag Move the Needle could help get artists the respect they deserve, writers the respect they deserve, publishers the respect that they deserve. Hashtag move the needle. This idea that he had was thwarted by the left side of comics. A good friend of mine, Heidi McDonald, she literally went out of her way to thwart this, as she's been trying to thwart Mark MILLAR on Twitter and tell him that I'm just trying to warn you and give you a heads up. I forget exactly what the quote was, but she's trying to warn him, give him a heads up about basically who it is he's associating with on any level, which he's associating with people who are comics fans on Twitters, and some of them get into fucking stupid arguments with creators on Twitter. And these freaking comic creators take it to such a freaking crazy level where they're the virtuous, heroic something or other, and they're fighting against some evil person who doesn't like their book for the wrong reasons. Dude, if you did a good job, they wouldn't be at your fucking door complaining about your fucking book. I promise you, I can write all the fucking inclusion, all the gay characters, any trans, anything, and nobody would be writing to me telling me how fucking shitty it was, because I don't write shitty things. But when you write shitty things, people may have something to fucking say about it. When the directive of the top is some sort of mandate to do something that seems unnatural, and then you have to go in and you have to write it, it's going to be shitty because it was an unnatural mandate from the top. And you guys are defending this to defend your bosses, to defend your positions so that you can continue to work, because you shouldn't have been in the fucking comics industry to begin with. You should have been somewhere else doing something that you liked, working in an industry that you liked, working on characters that you like, working on things that you appreciate working on. You're clearly working on things that you don't fucking like, but it's clear to readers what creators do like comics, what creators want to make comics, what creators want to please their audience. And I think that Meyer, he should bring back hashtag move the needle. I say bring back hashtag move the needle. That would be fucking wonderful. Hashtag move the needle. When you buy something, when you buy an independent comic book, if you buy something from me, from Blacklight District Studios, if you buy fucking For Our Future, post it on the freaking website, say hashtag move the needle, and that's it. That's it. You say, this is what I want. I want to see independent creators. I want to see great artists. I want to see great stories. I want to see comedy. I want to see this. I want to see that. Show them what you want to see, because I think they're going to be very surprised what the audience's actual desires are versus what their desires seem to be. So please, bring back Move the Needle. If anybody knows Meyer, is it Breckin Meyer? I will keep on Breckin Meyer on the side of it. The guy from It's Your Boy Zach, Comics Matter with your boy Zach on YouTube. Tell him, Jesse Blaze, the Coolest Geek Alive, I say, bring back Move the Needle. Try again. Don't let them stop it this time. And this time, I don't think they can stop it. So let's freaking hashtag move the needle. I can't believe that Heidi McDonald literally was getting on people who were using the hashtag and telling them not to use it because the people associated with the hashtag were alt-right or something. Freaking Comics Matter, but he's not fucking alt-right. He's just a comic fan. He's a freaking ex-military guy. Like, whatever. Is that, like, their basis for this? No, he's not fucking radical or anything. The people who say these things have never actually listened to any of these conversations because they fly in the face of their personal ideologies, whether it is about how they're doing their work or how good the industry is or how healthy, whatever the fuck it is. But they're not listening, so they don't know. They don't know. If you're not listening, then you don't fucking know, and you're stupider than we are, okay? You are. You're a freaking idiot. Mark Waid, you're a fucking idiot. You have no fucking idea where you are in the world. You cannot see the forest for the trees. You are about to nuke comics so that you can fucking win. Fuck you, Mark Waid. Well, that's it, Coolest Geeks. I'm your passionate geek culture commentator, Jesse Blaze Snyder. Write to me at jesseblaze@jessesnyder.com. I love you all so much. I look forward to hearing from you. Care Bear Stare. I'm sorry for the vitriol coming out of my face for this episode, but it is what it fucking is. Anyway, thank you for listening to my show, and I hope you join me again next Saturday and this coming Wednesday for another ass-kicking episode of the Coolest Geek Alive. And fuck you, Mark Waid, and all hail Mark MILLAR, or Mark Miller. Peace.
You've been listening to Coolest Geek Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snyder. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent geek culture content. Thanks for listening.
It's my favorite part! Isn't that heavy? awesome, making you shout. I'm a genius. I got lyrics coming out me bum for days. You like that? It's a kazoo solo. I play that too. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Talking some shit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Living legit. My voice is fucking awesome. Food in our mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Get in the mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Tell all your friends. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Call right or text. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Raising the bar. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Straight to the stars. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's starting soon. Straight to the top. Awesome. Passing the moon. It's gonna be fucking awesome. On with the show. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Ready, set, go. It's going to be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Just wait. You'll see. You'll all see.
The podcast playground. Hooray!
Start the new year in a new ride from the Norm Reeves Superstores. Right now is the best time to get the super prices you deserve. Shop our super selection of vehicles at 11 convenient locations, from West Covina to the Cerritos Auto Square, Huntington Beach to the Irvine Auto Center, Vista and San Diego. You're never far from a Norm Reeves Superstore. Shop America's most popular brands: Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Genesis, Volkswagen, Toyota, and Honda. We have all your favorite new models in stock for the new year. Looking to trade? We want to buy your vehicle. Any make, any model, any year. Plus, enjoy total peace of mind with your purchase thanks to our exclusive price protection guarantee. If you can find the same new vehicle for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. It's that simple. Take a test drive today at the Norm Reeves Superstore location closest to you, like the #1 Honda retail dealer in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square, or shop online anytime at normreeves.com. As for Global Honda new vehicle retail sales 2022.